said to them, do you know, there's a lot of distortion on your speaker.
Yes, mine sounds exactly the same.
Maybe you could try and fix it. And do you know what they said? They said absolutely nothing. But they went on to make at least 8 different tunings still out there in the wild. Who's the winner on that? 8 different tunings, you don't know what you're getting. Well, there's another speaker that I reviewed recently. It looks a lot like the Bose Soundmic Flex, and also it looks a lot like the Tozo PA1. It is, of course, the Tribit Stormbox Flow. It's about 65 quid street price, about 150 quid street price, less than half the price. I said at the price, that is a good alternative to the Flex. Well, the Flex played a bit cleaner, a bit clearer. This had a warmer sound signature you may well prefer, or indeed, if you get 2 of them, less than the price of the Flex. You've got stereo going on, you know, happy days ahead. The problem was, on some of the tracks, not all the tracks, not as many tracks as that one, getting some distortion. Seemed that the bass was pushed too much. I said that in the original review. I thought the xbass was a little bit overdone. I thought music mode was a little bit underdone, undercooked, whatever you want to do. And do you know what? On the day I did that review, I told Tribit about it. And do you know what they said? They said, we're going to fix it. We want to get it right. And do you know how long it took them? About 1 day. I'm saying about 1 day, because the next day they said, we've listened to your feedback. We've adjusted it to get rid of that distortion. And indeed, when I woke up in the morning, there was firmware 1.2.3. I had originally been on firmware 1.2.0. They're saying functions optimized, so I don't know if the actual fix was 1.22. But I can tell you, having listened to it before, having listened to it after, what have they actually done? I'll tell you off the bat, music mode has not been changed. They have altered xbass mode. They have reduced the bass all the way from, I think, 400 hertz down. Maybe it didn't have to be quite as dramatic as that. But hey, they fixed it. It still is a bass boost, just not as boosted as before. Thank you. That's all we ask for, isn't it? We say, yeah, you're doing a good job. You're trying to get good value speakers out there. But hey, there's this little issue. Do you mind fixing it? Tribit say, yeah, of course we want to get it right. Other companies who shall not be named, they say, nothing wrong with our speaker, and we're going to push out more firmwares and more firmwares. And you tell me, who's getting it right, who's getting it wrong? I'm going to let you listen to the firmware I was on, 1.2.0, the new firmware, 1.2.3. Only going to let you listen to xbass because that's the only mode they have altered. Have a listen to what they have done. So what difference does that make in the real world? In the real world, for me, it's gone from there was too much bass boost and it was pushing the single driver, full range driver, just a bit too much, and it was completely out of control. It was overdriving. And now they've pulled it in just below that line. I mean, it's kind of, you can get in a sense of, oh, we're almost out of it, we're almost losing control, but not quite. So it's better than it was before. I'm not getting the awful distortion. I'm getting hints of it. I think it's a lot better. I think it's a decent speaker. I think it's a good value, the money for everything else at the moment that I can get a hold of. And you know, they're going to listen to feedback and they're going to get it right. But I think it's pretty decent at the money for what it's already given us right now. Is it perfect? No. Is there any perfect speaker? No. At the end of the day, they're trying to compete with the Bose Flex at less than half the price, and on that point, I think they've succeeded. Is it better? No. But is it good value against that? Yes. Would two of them be better? Possibly, but I've only got one. I really don't know. Just to say, after my first video, they just wanted to point out, I said can't be used as a power bank, but they're actually saying it can be used as a power bank, but only when you've got at least 50% or more battery in the speaker itself. And to tell you, when the speaker gets to 30% charge, they say the sound of our speaker will be less than the sound of a normal charge. I guess they mean reduced in volume. I don't know. I haven't got down to the 30% to try it. Well, I've just come back to it for the first time, actually, to just see if they did fix it in firmware. They really did the next day. What a refreshing change from certain companies, shall not be named, that I've had to deal with lately. If you don't know, I'm just going to go over the specs just to say it is a 25 watt speaker, street price of 65 quid, $65, I believe, because discount code should be all over the place, as you know, early bird and all that. But down the line, they end up being cheaper. And I've seen this one now, I think, for $70 off. Remember, you had to pay $1 for $50 off. Everyone can get $70 off, apparently, with some code. Always do, just shows you the markup on some of these speakers, doesn't it? You naughty. I did mention it by default, it will go to AAC. You may want to go to SBC to avoid certain issues. On Android, the way to do that is, and I'm talking about Android, obviously AAC, you want that on Apple. On Android, you'll need to turn off HD audio to allow you to select the SBC, which is normally more consistent on Android devices. The latency was really poor. I haven't retested it. I doubt if that's changed. 400 millisecond, I mean, it just is no good. But that's at default AAC. It was less than half that on SBC, but 200 milliseconds is still really awful. So not great for Bluetooth latency. There's no other way to connect because it's auxiliary. By the way, in my original video, I did not have the shoelacy thing, the strap, they're saying. And indeed, I said it was shoelace-like. To me, it's shoelace-like, but you can indeed hang this from places, and you can make it tighter by pulling up and down the sleeve that goes over the, I'll call it a shoelace. I don't know what they call it, but that's what it looks like to me. But yeah, it's handy and quite easy to take off, unlike some of the ones that are non-removable, because it just doubles over, goes into the hooky thing. Right there, I'm very technical with certain things. My shoelacy thing, my hooky thing.
Bitsy spider went up the wall spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
But you know what I mean. You know what it does. So, there we go. That was the firmware update. Bear in mind, if you liked the bass, if you're going to get the speaker and it comes with version 1.20 and you like the bass on that, you probably don't want to update it unless you're getting a bad distortion. You'll lose bass. For me, the original bass was overdone. Now it's, you know, it's warm. It's just right. Distortion, you're getting a sense it's just about to hit the limit, but they've pulled it just under the limit where it will be horrendous. So, I thank you for watching. I look forward to trying this against certain other speakers that are coming out soon. Heavily marketed, and most of them say paid promotion. I can tell you, I don't do paid promotion. This wasn't paid promotion. That's the way we're going to keep it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again.
What the f was that?
You boom.
It comes from China.
My speaker's got deep bass, balanced mids, and a bright high.
Yes, mine sounds exactly the same.